What's going on, everybody? Teddy Baldassarre from teddybaldassarre.com. In this video, we're gonna be looking at a watch available for purchase on my website, and one of my personal favorites from the Flieger style family, especially at an affordable price tier, probably the best out there with the Laco Augsburg. So if you have any questions about this watch, I'll have details in the description, but in addition to that, if you hit that link as well, you can also book a call with me if you have any questions about this piece or any other watch on my website. But guys, let's take a closer look at this watch.
And when first looking at this watch, we have to consider that there are two different versions here. I'm going to be looking at the 42mm option, but there's also a 39mm option. Case size here, 42mm, thickness 11.75mm, lug width 20mm, lug to lug 49.9mm, water resistance of 50 meters. Movement is an automatic Miyota 821A. Crystal is sapphire, and the price $410. And if you do want the full details on the 39mm version, I can link in the description to the product page where you can see them all outlined. Now first, when considering one of the most recognizable and constantly reinterpreted designs in all of watchmaking, this Flieger is definitely one of the few at the top. Yet among the countless brands that offer this pilot Flieger styling, very few have heritage to connect to the originals like Laco does. And when it comes to a relatively more affordable tier, this watch is even more of a standout, as I think Laco is the best go-to choice for an authentic entry-level Flieger style watch. So a little background on Laco: this German brand was founded back in 1925 and was one of the big five that were developing Flieger style pilot watches for the German Air Force. And during this period in the 1940s, when they were supplying watches, the watches were actually featuring in-house movements. The brand has switched ownership over the years, but with this, they now are really prioritizing what they do best and what was really their claim to fame: creating amazing looking Flieger watches. And throughout this video, I'm going to try to cover some details surrounding the world of Fliegers, but I do have a full in-depth video on the subject on my main channel that I can link to in the description. So today, looking at this Augsburg, we have the 42mm option. Again, this also comes in 39mm, which is going to impact the dimensions across the board quite a bit, but I'll have that all again outlined on my website. The 42mm case comes in a sandblasted finish, onion style crown that is very easy to engage and is very true to these original designs. The watch on the wrist is a bit on the larger end, but given the original function of these watches being on the wrists of pilots and navigators and having the need for great legibility and ease of just wanting to be able to see the time with just a glance, the 42mm might make more sense for those that want to stay true to the original. However, those with smaller wrists, you might want to go for the 39mm option instead, which will bring down that lug to lug quite well to 46mm, assisting in a more compact wear. The strap is nice that comes with it, which really can't be said for the mass majority of watches in this price range, and is being produced in Germany like the watch itself. It comes in a traditional pilot style and is rigid to begin, but really breaks in wonderfully over time, featuring an ecru contrast stitch, a sign buckle, and a calfskin underlining that is very comfortable when strapped on. Casting over the dial is a flat sapphire crystal that will assist in the durability of the piece while offering a clean view of the dial within. And we're looking at the dial on this piece. This is one that is commonly referred to as a Type A style. So this dial refers to a layout that was made popular during World War II, featuring the display of classic hour markers along the outside of the dial, apart from the triangular lume marker with two dots taking place at the 12 to assist with orientation. This style of dial is simple, but it keeps in mind the most important thing that was needed during battle: phenomenal legibility. This watch maintains this pursuit with its beautiful use of contrasted elements with a black matte surface, striking superluminova filled markers, and large leaf style hands containing superluminova to match, with the second hand even being lume tipped as well. Apart from this, there's very little else going on here, with the writing of the brand's logo at the 12 and then the Made in Germany marking at the bottom of the dial at the 6. The superluminova on this piece is actually quite fantastic, making this watch just as legible in the light as it is in the dark, with all of those lumed elements shining well. Flipping the watch over, we have view of an exhibition caseback and the Miyota movement within the automatic 821A. So as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I think Laco has really positioned this watch, along with their Aachen, as being two of the best pilot Flieger style watches that you can find for the price under $500, especially from a brand with heritage in this space. How they're able to really get this price down, though, is making these watches available with Japanese movements within. So the Miyota 821A essentially is the elevated entry-level 8215, including a little bit of added decoration across the movement. The movement is no stunner in terms of the looks department, nor is it going to outperform the higher-end watches from Laco that contain their Swiss movements. That said, those do run north of $1,000, but these movements are just reliable. No nonsense tickers that really are just easy to regulate, service, which for an affordable watch is really all that you can ask for. The movement operates at 3 Hz, 21,600 vibrations per hour, features hand winding, but does not feature hacking, so you can't stop the second hand when pulling out the crown to the farthest positions. So if you are a pilot actually looking to use this in an actual real life environment, I would recommend looking at some of the higher price models from the brand. But if you are just somebody that's wearing this for casual wear, I don't see this being as much of an issue. And then for accuracy out of the box, expect very similar specifications to that of entry-level Seikos, but Laco is regulating these watches, and I find a lot of these actually running quite impressively, around 10 seconds per day in accuracy, which for an entry-level movement is quite good. So just to unpack here, when it comes to these affordable Laco Fliegers, I think there's a lot to like. For just north of $400, you're getting multiple case sizes, an iconic dial design, being made in Germany by one of the original 5 producing brands, although changing ownership, but still that heritage is there, all of which I think makes this the best Type A style Flieger that you can find for the money under $500. And say affordability is not everything that you're going for here. Maybe you want a little bit of elevation with the movement, you want that hacking. There's always other options available from the brand at a higher price tier, but for under $500, this is a great choice.
So guys, if you enjoyed this video, be sure thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell icon as well. But if you have any questions about this watch, I'll have a link in the description to, of course, learn more. You can purchase this watch, but in addition to that, you can also book a call with me if you have any specific questions, and I can help you with your purchase. So guys, thank you again so much for watching. Be well, and I will see you all very soon.